Hi everyone and welcome back to Taslima Maya Art. Today's video is a really special one. I'll be preserving some flowers that are deeply meaningful to me. A bouquet that two of my children, aged 5 and 6, gave me after major surgery back in May. They brought so much love and comfort at a time when I really needed it, and I wanted to find a way to keep them forever. So in this video, I'll be drawing some of those flowers using Wisedry Silica gel crystals, a simple but amazing way to preserve flowers while keeping their shape and colour. And here's the Wisedry Silica gel. It comes in a resealable pack filled with small crystals that draw out moisture from the petals. They're reusable and even change colour as they absorb water, so you can tell when it's time to refresh them. In a future video, I'll be showing you how to use this Suziko flower press kit as well, so you can keep those beautiful bouquets and flowers that mean a lot to you and press them and use them in your creative artwork. So before we go clipping the main bouquet of flowers, I'm going to do a little test run, and we're going to start with some beautiful little flowers that my lovely daughters picked on our walks together. And here they are. Aren't they gorgeous? A lovely palette of colour here. Stunning little ones. So we're going to try with these to begin with and try and dry these in a silica gel without damaging them. So as we've just come back from our walk, we've simply very freshly clipped them, and I've kept it quite close to the flower head with the clippings, and I'm going to use a few basic tools, tweezers and scissors for trimming and handling delicate petals, an airtight container for the drying process, and a small brush for dusting off the finished flowers later on. You don't actually need much, just patience and very gentle hands. So let's open this bag up. And it is vacuum sealed, as you can see, and it's resealable, which is brilliant. But you can put it into a separate container if you later wish. And I'm probably not going to use all of this because we've only got a few little delicate petals and flower heads to work with here. So I'll be doing this first, and the second phase I'll be doing this with my larger blooms from my bouquet. Now in terms of preparing the flowers, you can use a mixture of different colours of the same type and trim off any damaged petals and shorten the stems, leaving just enough to handle them easily. And one good tip is to choose flowers that are fresh but not wet. If they've been in water, gently pat them dry with tissue paper before starting, because excess moisture can cause browning or mould. For thicker flowers like roses or carnations, which I'll probably do later, you can remove a few inner petals to help them dry faster and more evenly. Now I bought my silica gel with this particular brand, Wisedry, from Amazon, and it was relatively economical. It wasn't too expensive, and you can get lots of different brands on Amazon and other websites. And it came with this little manual as well, so it's got some information in here about the conventional drying methods, how to prepare your flowers, how long to wait. So lots of really useful information in this little pamphlet. And if you look at this, it's also got a microwavable option, so you can also microwave them, and particularly the silica gel can be microwaved to kind of bring it back to life after all our moisture is in there and get that out again. So there's also a few little lovely cards here as well. And these cards were a lovely touch, beautiful different outcomes for how people have dried flowers using this particular brand, and heart-touching stories really of where these flowers came from and how meaningful they were in their lives and how they preserved them. So those came along with the user manual as well. So now onwards and upwards onto the next step. I'm preparing the container, and to begin with I will pour a thin layer of the Wisedry Silica gel at the bottom of my container, just enough to cover the base though. So I'll just do that very gradually, try not to get it everywhere. You do have to be careful. And once I've done that, I will probably seal the package up a little bit and then very gently place a few of my flowers on top of this gel, making sure they don't actually touch each other. And I love the vibrancy of freshly cut flowers, and these are fabulous. And my two little flower girls who go around picking flowers for me and bring me flowers all the time are so, so sweet. Just fabulous vibrancy in the colour of these. They're gorgeous, aren't they? All the colours of the rainbow. Beautiful. Blue, yellow, violet. Look at that one. Gorgeous. So whilst I do that, I'll play a little bit of music for you, and I'll move on to the second step after this in a while. And this song is called Better Without Me by Wildflowers.
I was lost without any direction. Had a line so many times, but I needed attention. No matter what I say, no matter my regrets, things still been said and done. There's not a part of me that wants to say no. But I have realized I had to let go. Oh, 'cause something's broken and I'm the reason. It's not that easy knowing you'll do better without me. Without me. Without me. I have tried, yeah, to become better. But I'd lie again if I said it'll last forever. I know I make mistakes, it's just the way I am. That's why you have to know. Yeah, there's not a part of me that wants to say no. But I have realized I had to let go.
So for step 2, I will slowly pour more silica over the flowers, and I like to do it very, very gradually so that it settles softly around each petal, filling all the little gaps without crushing them. What you want is for every part of the flower to be surrounded by crystals. And once the flowers are completely covered, you can then seal the container with its lid. And here's a good tip. Try and label your container with the date, because most flowers dry beautifully in about 3 to 7 days, depending on their thickness though, and smaller blooms like daisies can be ready in 3 days, while fuller flowers like roses might take up to a week or more. So I'll put this away on a shelf. Now it's been a few days and I'm just about to open it up. I think it's been about 2 or 3 days now. And I've noticed some of those crystals have changed colour slightly, and that tells me they've absorbed moisture. And I'm using the tweezers now to bring them out and shake off the silica gel. And this is the exciting part, uncovering the flowers. And this is how they all looked as I took them out. You can see that the vibrancy of the colour is still very much there. Very, very pretty, but bone dry as well. With some of them I use a small brush to gently remove the silica gel from the top and lift each bloom carefully with tweezers. They feel really light and papery, but the shape is beautifully preserved. And again, as I said, the colours are soft and vibrant, just like the day I received them. Look at the blue in that. Gorgeous. One tip is to handle these dried flowers super carefully, because they can be incredibly fragile. So a soft makeup brush or a small paintbrush is perfect for brushing off any remaining silica from the petals, but do be very careful. Once they're dry and clean, you can store them in a box lined with tissue paper, or display them right away, or embed them in your resin jewellery or resin crafts. But make sure you keep them away from direct sunlight and any humidity, because that will help them stay bright and intact for months or even years on end. If your silica gel turns dark or loses its drying power, you can actually recharge it as well by spreading it on a baking tray and heating it in the microwave or oven. If it's in the oven for about 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 120 degrees Celsius for an hour. And when it turns back to its original colour, you can actually reuse it again. So it's super, useful to know that. And as many of you crafting friends know, there are so many creative uses to using your dried flowers. You can frame them in a glass display, use them to make cards for each other, use them in resin crafts or decorate handmade candles, or simply keep them as a memory in a shadow box. I'm going to be embedding some of these beautiful flowers into one of my resin froggies soon, so keep an eye out for that video and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out any future videos from my channel. Here are all the lovely flowers that I managed to dry, and these are all the ones my children picked. Now, I'll be doing a follow-up video for those of you who want to learn how to step-by-step press flowers using the flower pressing kit that I showed you earlier, so do keep an eye out for that video as well. Looking forward to doing that with a bouquet that my children gave me of much larger blooms. This is the bouquet they gave me. So now with the practice run under my belt, I decided to put some of the roses from this beautiful bouquet my children gave me into the silica gel as well. And here I am taking the heads out and gently brushing off the silica gel. Look at the vibrancy of that pink in that rose head, and that's utterly gorgeous. It's really, really vibrant. It's retained the colour, and I can't wait to embed that in some resin very soon. And I did a little petal to show you as well that it doesn't actually lose its colour. Now the rose did take a little longer. I think I left it in there for about 7 days, as well as some other flower heads. As you can see, the vibrancy on this beautiful purple one as well. How gorgeous is that? And again, you do have to be a bit delicate. I was being clumsy there, and I'm just taking out the others that I had in the silica gel. And there's this gorgeous off-white one as well, and these were all from that big bouquet I had at the hospital. And yeah, I'm just showing you examples of what I was doing, and they turned out magnificent, and it really worked, and they're just perfect now, ready to use. So I did do a few others. You can see lots of different coloured petals here. These are just examples of the petals that I dried in the silica gel, and I can use these, and it's much cheaper than having to buy dried flowers, I can tell you that much, because they are quite expensive buying dried flowers. And I love how some of these, the yellow and the pinks, really retain the colours, and there was one that didn't, and I think there was a little bit of moisture in that one, so that was the reason why it kind of went a bit darker and off colour. But then, this is a learning journey, and I was having fun, and hence I gave you that tip about making sure there's no moisture in your flowers to get it to retain that colour and not change. Look at this one. I actually really like this one. It's really pretty. I feel like painting it with watercolours. But yeah, so that's it. For me, these flowers are much more than just pretty decorations. They're a reminder of healing, love and resilience. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this quiet, creative moment with me. If you found this helpful or relaxing, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to Taslima My Art for more art and flower preservation projects. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to use the Suziko flower press kit to press flowers flat, perfect for bookmarks and botanical art. I hope you'll join me for that one too. Check out the Creative Art Collective. Up next is Let's Pour with Patty. Until next time, take care and keep creating beauty one petal at a time.